It's no secret, of course, that the grand jury investigation happening in the state of Georgia against Donald Trump and his attempts to find the votes in Georgia with that call with Brad Raffensperger, actually multiple calls with Brad Raffensperger, the Secretary of State. Trump's not happy, folks. He's angry that investigators are coming after him for what he once again calls a perfect phone call. If such a thing exists, Trump says, it was this phone call. Perfect. Beautiful. Wonderful. Could not have gone better. Except for these corrupt Democrats and the corrupt system in place that robbed him of the damn presidency. So Donald Trump took to Truth Social a couple days after his buddies had all been subpoenaed by that grand jury. And this is what Donald Trump had to say. Both of my phone calls to Georgia were perfect. I had an absolute right to make them. And in fact, the story on the one call was given a retraction or apology by the Washington Post because they were given terribly false information about it. And when they heard the actual call, they realized that their story was wrong. Thank you to the Washington Post. I, as does anyone else, just look at the Democrats, have the absolute right to challenge the results of an election. This one, corrupt, rigged, stolen. Now, he's got another truth that he sent out because that's what they're called, which is stupid. But anyway, the Washington Post article he's talking about just corrected their quote. It wasn't that they just totally made stuff up. It's that they had worded it slightly wrong. So yes, they did issue like, oh crap, hey, we misworded it. So here's what he actually said. The fact of the matter is, like, he's trying to say the Washington Post just made up the whole story. Dude, we've heard the audio. Like, the whole call was recorded. You can't deny that. You're literally telling us that what we hear with our own ears isn't somehow real when we all know that it is very much real. And he continues. I did nothing wrong in Georgia, but others did. They cheated in the 2020 presidential election, and those are the ones that should be investigated and prosecuted. Letter to follow. Letter to follow. Good, because, I wouldn't want you to have things that you're keeping inside. That kind of repression can cause physical ailments in somebody as well. So I'm glad you're getting it all out, bud. And I'm sure we're all anxiously awaiting your letter. Letter to who, by the way? Letter to follow. To who? Nobody gives a damn. Are you going to write a letter to the Washington Post and tell them, oh, darn it, I forgot what I was going to say. You're going to write a letter to Brad Raffensperger? Because if you do, that's probably going to be used against you. You're going to advise your other attorneys who were also subpoenaed in this investigation? People like Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, John Eastman, Jackie. Actually, that's not that one's not a lawyer, Jackie Deason. Kenneth Chesbrough, Cleta Mitchell. You're going to write them letters, tell them not to comply with subpoenas? Maybe get yourself involved in a little witness tampering? Who are you sending the letter to, Donald? Not that it matters. He's freaking out, of course, because, as I mentioned, this investigation is not just picking up steam. They're picking up all of Donald Trump's friends. Lindsey Graham is trying to fight the subpoena. He actually may be the only one who could possibly fight the subpoena. The rest of them, they've got no legal leg to stand on. It's an investigation. You were involved. You were either there with Trump or you were advising him, whatever it is, depending on which person it is. You're not getting out of these subpoenas. You're going to come and talk. Brian Kemp, Republican governor of Georgia, has already talked. Brad Raffensperger's talked. They obviously have the audio. They hired 10 prosecutors to work on the case, including several who are experts in racketeering. Trump is freaking the hell out for good reason. Fani Willis, this district attorney in Fulton County, is not going easy on him. She is showing basically the prosecutors in Manhattan and the prosecutors at the DOJ how you do this. You don't give in to the pressure. You don't respond to the pressure either. That's an important key here. She's just doing her job. And judging from Trump's reaction, she's doing a damn good job at that. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.